back to the Rocks Roost. It's time for a live stream. We're getting going here on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm getting the old streaming machine fired up. I got a little too distracted by biscuits and honey this morning. I'm running behind. I'm not going to lie. It's, that's what's going on. So let's see here. 1 second. We'll be ready. Here we go. The old live chat going. I thought I already set a goal for the chat. Anyway, well, let's go ahead and do it again. All the colors. We're going to have this go for, I don't know, a couple hours. I don't know. We're an hour. And if we meet the stream goal, we're going to do what? Stream again tomorrow. How about that? Start the goal. Okay. Welcome, everybody, one and all, to the Rocks Roost. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So we're looking at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we're looking at the home screen here first, the old switcheroo. Make sure the volume is correct. Now, I've had to make some adjustments on a few things, so y'all have to tell me how the volume is doing. And it's kind of a sensitive thing because with a stream, we have to have the voice, my voice, and the game all on one track of a recording. So that means there's no changing it later. I think it's okay, but we'll see. First thing I wanted to talk about, and while we're starting here on this screen, is the what was it? Yeah, how to get multiple saves on Breath of the Wild. You may not know this, but there's only essentially, one save slot. But you can circumvent that easily by creating different accounts, okay? So we have Rock Live. That's the account we're going to be using today. We got Rock, and we have a cousin's account here. So, so what we're going to be doing, if you want to do this to create a new account, just in case you don't know, we go to System Settings, we go to Users, we go to Add User, all right? And we're not actually going to do this, but you would just go Create New User and just follow the prompts from there, okay? So let's jump into The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. No, I'm not going to do the update right now. We're just going to fire it up. We're going to do Rock Live, which starts us with a brand new critter on the plateau, of course. I have played this game, just for background, completely, both in regular and master mode. But it's been quite a while, and I wanted to relive it. And that's why we're here now. So I'll be quiet. Let the intro play. It's giving me goosebumps already. Open your eyes. What an epic start.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
And it begins. I have to wonder, is that water or is that some other fluid, like liquid oxygen, like in the movie Abyss, The Abyss? There is a character we meet later over by the Lanayru Promenade that talks about this very scene and calls it water. I don't know. Laying in water for 100 years would make you kind of pruny. Excuse me. All right, we have control. Here we are. We've awakened in this strange location. Before I do anything else, I need to change something. Invert the vertical camera, yes. Camera sensitivity, very fast. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. What is this?
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
Don't mind if I do. Now pay attention as we go along in these first few interactions with the Sheikah slate and using the Sheikah slate. Pay attention to Link's physical emotions, his body language, his physical expression, body expression, if you will. The Sheikah slate is a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. You saw the first set of emotions there when Link picked up the slate. You'll see more as we go. I think they're very well done. That's why I want you to pay attention to them. Well-worn trousers. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. Old shirt. A thin shirt made long ago. It's falling apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. Let's go ahead and put him on. He looks strapping there. One neat thing about this outfit, the pants in particular, is later, if you choose to dye them, they will pick up a neat little meander pattern around the bottom of the legs there. I don't know. I like this outfit. It looks extremely comfortable. And Link looks good in pedal pushers, I think. Can't really do anything with these boxes right now, so let's move on.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
Now watch. You see? Did you see how he looked down at the slate? Very neat. Oh boy. It's like the start of a Fallout game.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
So yes, I'm pretty well known for Fallout on my channel. You might be wondering, why would I be doing Breath of the Wild? Well, the 3D Fallout games share a lot of DNA with this, or this shares DNA with them, I guess. And that might be why. Also, I really love it. Are you ready for one of the most iconic openings in gaming? Let's do it. There's the temple. I don't know if it's actually ever referred to as the Temple of Time in the game. Maybe y'all know. You can let me know. Pick up a couple weapons here. We are not playing in Master Mode, by the way. You notice we're playing with a new character on my Switch, a new profile, so you don't even get the choice to choose Master Mode from the get-go the first time you launch the game. It just goes to the game. It doesn't go to a menu when you first fire it up. And excuse me. And that's okay, because Master Mode is really fun. But it's not the most chill experience. And this stream is all about me. I screwed up. Already scared one of the bugs. There's going to be 3 beetles on these trees. The bladed beetles. Always get them. They're easy to miss. This beetle's razor-sharp horns demand that you handle it with care. Boil the horns alongside monster parts to concoct an elixir that will raise your attack power. I already scared one of the 3, but that's okay. We'll find lots of these as our adventure goes on. But yes, Master Mode is extremely fun if you're already familiar with the game. But it's not the chillest experience in the world. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Let's get him. This one's going to be tough to get. Come on. Come on. Got him. The main thing about Master Mode being non-chill, or really the only non-chill thing about it, is the butterfly, summerwing butterfly, a butterfly found in the woods and plains of warm regions. Its wings absorb the warmth of the sun. Cook it with monster parts to create an elixir that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Excuse me. Yeah, non-chill Master Mode. I'm sorry. I get distracted so easily. Is that the monsters generate health, regenerate health as you go. This apple is a common fruit found on trees all around Hyrule. Eat it fresh or cook it to increase its effect. There's 3, usually on a regular apple tree, there's going to be 3 apples. I usually don't get the 3rd because it's a pain, but since it's easy to climb up here and get it, I'll get it.
Link.
Link.
Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
We'll do it. Let's do that now. Zoop. I like the Sheikah slate. Again, it's like the Pip-Boy. Tax Evader, hello, how are you today? Welcome to the stream in the chat. We're going to be going right over here. This will be the first Sheikah Tower, if I remember rightly. But first, we have this. It's rude to take the fruit, but we're going to. The baked apple direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. It's going very well for me. Dubois Blake, hello, how's it going? Welcome. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It's a bit strange to see another soul in these parts. Well, who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who's lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Well, a place like this, where are we? Answering a question with a question. That's fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. Thank you, Dubois Blake. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. More subscribers will hopefully come as time goes on. And Tax Evader, Breath of the Wild feels way different after Tears of the Kingdom came out, but it's still such a vibe. I agree with you. And I was playing both of the games, both this one and Tears of the Kingdom, in the past few days, getting ready for this stream. And I don't know. Breath of the Wild definitely has a different feel. In some ways, I prefer it. It's a little bit more minimalist. It's a little bit more condensed. There is a high fun factor in Tears of the Kingdom, though. I didn't read that dialogue box. I'm not sorry about that. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entry, a mere ghost of its former self. Again, I don't think they ever refer to that as the Temple of Time. We have a torch here. I don't know if I'm ever going to use that. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? It's a secret. Excuse me. I see. Well then, do as you please. There are plenty of monsters ahead of here, though. Remember that you can use that as a weapon if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them. Got it. The good old Z target. Okay. Grab this axe. I forgot to read it, sorry. A woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow, inefficient weapon. For those of you who don't know, I am a writer in real life, so this flavor text I think is very well done in the game. That's why I'm reading it so much. I didn't read the shroom either. Hylian shroom is a common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. It does, Tax Evader. It does feel a little overwhelming at times. It's a similar... Tears of the Kingdom is an excellent game, don't get me wrong. I had a heck of a lot of fun with it. When I first got it, I booted it up and played it, basically until I was finished. I didn't play anything else. I played the hell out of it and enjoyed just about every minute of it. But like Horizon Forbidden West, I don't know if you played the Horizon games. It was a sequel that added so much that at times it felt overwhelming. But it's never overwhelming to find one of 900 Koroks, is it? The Korok says, "Yahaha, you found me. Ah, you're not Hestu. But you can see me? I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him." And of course he gives us a Korok seed. This small seed was given to you by a Korok. It has a distinct smell. That's a clue as to what it really is there, folks. If you gather a bunch of them, you never know what may happen. Garrison Goldberg, hi. Hi to you. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the chat and the stream. Oh, and my friends are hiding in lots of different places, too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. We won't. Thank you, Mr. Korok. We'll get the broadsword. The rusty. Oh, that one wheel of stamina, that hurts. Rusty broadsword. This once fearsome sword has seen better days. It can do some damage in the right hands, but also breaks quickly. Hi, Rock. Hey, hey, hey. How's it going, Gale Wolf? Good to see you. We haven't chatted in a while. Of course, I haven't been streaming in quite a while. Yeah, this is just a little bit outside my wheelhouse. This is a game upon my return to gaming a few years back, around 2019, after many years of hiatus. This was one of the first games I played, and it just took my breath away. I fell in love with this, and it's still one of my favorite games. And I've been pointing out some of the similarities between this and Fallout. We have the blinding light opening at the beginning. We also have the Sheikah Slate, which is basically a Pip-Boy. There's a lot more similarities than one might think. The Hyrule bass, by the way, is an ordinary fish that can be found all over Hyrule. It can be eaten raw, but cooking it amplifies its healing effects or abilities. Now, in Master Mode, this is a blue bokoblin, and he's a real SOB. But an acorn is often found on the ground near trees. Squirrels adore this nut, so you may have competition while foraging. Add one to a meal for a nutty seasoning. Ugh. Yeah, so a blue bokoblin with a tree branch, not the easiest thing to take down. Not gonna lie. Come on. Oh, screwed up the timing there. I am not Lord of the Flurry Rush, so come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, I hit him one extra time. That's too bad. Well, staying busy is a good thing to do. The bokoblin horn, the severed horn of a bokoblin, a creature often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It isn't edible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an elixir. Wind Waker is also very good, Gil Wolf. That one's up there. Excuse me. Garrison Goldberg says, do the Divine Beast remind you of the Zords from Power Rangers? You know, in a way, I guess. I hadn't really thought about that. But yeah. They are Zordish, aren't they? Now, one of these trees, I think, has a nest. Yeah, it's this one. Excuse me. Just one second. I had to clear my throat. I'm sorry if you heard that. I haven't played the game significantly in years, but I remember where that bird nest was. That's pretty good. There's some more apples over here. But yeah, this, oh, here we go, Mr. Choo Choo. You know what? Have a stick in the face. Choo Choo Jelly, a gelatinous substance that came from a choo-choo. It's unusable in this state, but applying a bit of elemental stimulation will change its form. That it will. And, you know, I'll show you. This is one of the neat things about the choo-choo. It's farther up there than I thought, but still, we're committed now. We'll go back to the fire. Come on, Link. There we go. So you all probably already know this. Doesn't it? It does look strange after Tears of the Kingdom, doesn't it? Excuse me. Gale Wolf, have you played Link's Awakening on the Switch? I love this. Red choo-choo jelly, a jiggly substance that normally comes from a fire choo-choo. It consistently gives off heat. If struck, it will explode in a ball of flame. Now, notice it says normally comes from. That would be the clue if you didn't already know this little trick. Excuse me, to... I'm sorry, I've got a massive frog. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just went and took a little swig of some Jack Daniel, and that usually clears it out. Yes, Garrison, if you're playing normal mode, the first bokoblin you meet is blue, and oh boy, that's tough. With just a stick, you know what I'm saying? Sorry. The Game Boy version, yeah. I got the Game Boy version of Link's Awakening for Christmas, I guess the year it came out. I can't remember what year that was. Was that like 92 or 93 or something? I don't remember. I would have been 11 or 12 years old, something like that. Ugh. This weapon is no joke, what he's got. But we want it. Let's get it. Oh, crap. Fine, sir. I'm surprised we got the flurry rush that time. Yeah, one extra hit. You don't want to hit him any more than you have to. Boku Club. Boko Club, even. A crude bokoblin club made to clobber small prey. It's essentially a stick, so its durability is low, but it's better than a tree branch. The Switch version of Link's Awakening is pretty neat, I think. You know, the trouble with Nintendo games is they so seldom go on sale. They generally do produce a premium product, yes. But, let's see if there's anything in these. Seared steak, pretty good. But yeah. $60, I think, or $50, or how much the Switch version is kind of steep for Link's Awakening, even though it is a cool version, in my opinion. I do have it. I got it for as a present. Come on, dude. Right in the face. Did you like that? I'll use up my tree branches, since we can't fuse to anything here. Oh, God. Again, I'm not the Lord of the Flurry Rush, so you're gonna have to overlook me. I'm gonna die. Look at him laughing at me. Oh, sorry. God, he keeps doing a vertical or a horizontal swing, and I think it's a vertical. That one would have been a yeah. Okay, quit screwing around. Just hit him in the face. That's fine. Hit him again. Steal his weapon. Quit screwing around. That's the moral of the story, right? Just quit screwing around. Okay. He was guarding a pretty swell pair of breeches, though. Pokemon Blue. Yeah, those are the good days. You know, Pokemon came out when I was in high school. I was in... I guess I was in high school. Either that or like late middle school. I can't remember exactly. I wasn't doing a lot of... I remember thinking, oh, it's too kiddie for me. So I'm not really an expert, you know, in Pokemon. That would probably be a good a series to dive into in the channel, because, you know, I like to do blind series that I've never played before. Let's just go on to the blip now. I wanted the pants. Let's see. We'll pull the rock off on them, I guess. But a Pokemon game, at least one, would be a pretty good experience for my blind Let's Play series, I think. It's a game a lot of people played. And Minecraft. I've never played Minecraft either. Boom. You're dead. The R in Flurry Rush is capitalized? Yeah, isn't that a nice, it's I didn't read that for the last time either. Raw meat cooked over an open flame, cooking it has released its flavor, and the number of hearts it provides increased even. Simpler times indeed. It does seem like an obvious mistake, you know, capitalization error. All right, so there's some guys with a bow there. We could go ahead and get them. I mean, if this is master mode, I would not be doing this because they'd be blue bokoblins. A common arrow. Its shaft was carved from the wood of a sturdy tree. Looks like they've been doing some target practice here and performing pretty abysmally. There's a limit to how many arrows you can pick up from them. I think. Pretty sure. They'll eventually just stop spawning. Yeah. Yeah, they will. Let's go take care of business. The turn of the millennium was such a... You can't flare rush these guys. What am I doing? All right, we essentially traded a Boko club for 2 Boko bows. Not bad. A basic bokoblin bow made of wood. It's made by taking any tree branch and just tying a string on the other end. So don't expect much in the way of combat effectiveness. Yeah, right. I'm not going to. I was at the turn of the millennium, New Year's Eve, 1999, going into 2000. I was in college. That was the first Christmas of my first year at university. Oh, I missed it. Shoot him in the face. Get a shield. It's not great. It's not great aim. That's the answer, tax evader. Traveler's sword, a very common sword that often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. Yeah, let's see. I want the frog. I also need to eat. Come on. Hot-footed frog, a quick frog that can be found hopping around near water, rather. Cook it with monster parts to draw out its speed boost effect. Okay. It's time to hit up the Ubisoft tower. We run out of stamina. Oh, yeah, finally got it. Now, again, pay attention to Link's bodily, I don't know, body language, physicality, physical acting here. Place the Sheikah slate in the pedestal. See, he's like, what is this? I don't understand it. Getting a good look at it. And he very cautiously puts it up there. Nice touch. He's spooked by it. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. Indeed, Gale Wolf. Very high influence on many, many things. This cutscene and this event is very important, and I think it's very well designed. This earthquake that's happening as these towers, and as we learn later, the shrines are coming up, are activating. The towers are coming up out of the ground. The shrines are activating. This is being felt all over Hyrule. And this is an event that will be talked about by NPCs all over the kingdom as we go along. It's also important from a storytelling perspective. Oh, my pointer was on the screen. Sorry about that. From a storytelling perspective, because it announces the awakening of the hero. That sounds about right, tax evader. Synergistic, hi, welcome. I appreciate you being here. You say just here to like the video, to support the sentiment. I started replaying Breath of the Wild again a couple weeks ago, and after dozens upon dozens of hours of meandering, gonna buckle down and finish the story soon. Well, I know you've been having a blast, Synergistic, and I really appreciate you being here with us. It is really something to relive this. I played it through, not when it came out. I got a Switch in like 2019 or 2021. And that was when I started playing it. fell in love with it pretty much instantly. And here we are. It's been long enough now that I've forgotten enough that that sense of wonder should be back. I say that, but I did remember where the first bird nest was.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
Absolute power corrupts. Very powerful theme. Ganon, of course, the holder of the Triforce of Power. And we see the literal corruption.
Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
Okay. So Link has forgotten everything, but I wonder if he, does he remember his name, or does he just assume that that's his name because people keep calling him that? I don't know. Oop. I think the characterizations of Link, Zelda, oh crap. Oh. That was one for the history book, wasn't it? Oops. I think the characterizations of Link, Zelda, and quote-unquote Ganon in this are pretty good in terms of being the embodiments of the Triforces of courage, wisdom, and power, respectively. We see the literal corruption, right, going on over here. Bring up the scope. You see the purple stuff there. Absolute power corrupts, and that's Ganon's whole thing. He has power, and that's it. No wisdom or courage to go along with it. Link, of course, has courage. He's using it right now. This takes tremendous courage, as we just saw, to go down the tower this way. Zelda, of course, is a nice embodiment of wisdom, because as we get to know her later, she is a scholar of all things ancient. Oh my, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. Again, awakening of the hero. Link's awakening. We were talking about that just a minute ago. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I heard a voice. Well now, a voice you say. And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? No. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. I did. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you'd say that. Here, on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. Paraglider? Oh, piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider. But not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? The isolated plateau. Open adventure log. Come, let me show you something. He's going to show us a shiny. Ah, look, over there it is. Just over the rise. You can't see it from where you're standing, so if you didn't notice it before, this is kind of a dramatic reveal. Not only are you seeing a shrine, but you're seeing another tower in the distance, and you're even seeing one of the divine beasts. So this is a glimpse of your future.
Oh.
Do you see that structure there, the one shining with a strange light? It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. I think so. We have an enemy camp we could take out. Again, in master mode, I would not recommend doing this because, at least not right away. But in this, in normal mode, I think we're fine. Gonna sneak up on the bokoblin. We're gonna try and hit him in the actual head. He won't see me if I hide behind the box. I'm as good as invisible, Deke. What am I playing? Days Gone? Haha! Now that was a shot. Yes. Very good. One down. 3 to go. What we can do here, if you've never played the game before, you don't know you can do this, but we go into bullet time. I couldn't get them all. We were too crappy of a bow. All right, fine. We'll bring it. Ah. Club for a club. Where's the other one? Ah, I hear you. You're throwing your rocks at me. I missed him. Combat in this game is actually very fun. I think it's the best. We can get some arrows here. Let him shoot him into the shield. Come on, dude. I'm right here. Oh, God. Like, get a little closer so maybe you can hit. Oh, you hit me. Bye-bye. Now, I don't remember what this treasure is here. The real treasure is the cook pot. And the boxes. Lots of goods in here. Oh yeah, feels good. The combat in this game, again, yeah, I think it's really good. It's better than any other Zelda game, in my opinion. The combat. Let's get the goodie. I don't remember what it is. Traveler's Sword. We already read the blip for that. That's good. Now, let's go ahead and cook some stuff. Why don't we? We have some bladed beetles, which... let's make a elixir with them. Why not? Mighty Elixir grants a low-level might effect, which strengthens your body and mind to boost your attack power with all weapons. I'll just make one. Well, it's just fun to make. We have 3 hearts, so there's no point in cooking more than 2 apples, really. That's going to give us 2 hearts. Or an apple and a mushroom. Also gives you 2 hearts. Let's save the fish for a use later. Just make a few more of these. Alright. What's that got us up to? Simmered fruit. I didn't read this. This sweet dish is made by heaping tasty fruits into a pan and simmering until tender. Fruit and mushroom mix is a dish that contrasts the sweetness of fruit with the savoriness of mushrooms. Let's make a little bit more. I don't think that's enough. Twilight Princess was fun for sure. I remember I always wished that I had Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I never did. I had it on the Wii. It was the system seller for the Wii for me. The Wii was like impossible to get for a while. I'm sure y'all probably remember that. If you were around. Oh, I don't have the thing yet. If you were around when the Wii came out, then you'd know it. It took a while to be able to just find one in a store. But Twilight Princess was the system seller for me on that. And the motion controls were fun, but I preferred the non-motion. Ancient Screw. Yeah, cold weather strat, synergistic. I'm going to get the warm doublet and cook some goodies. You can skip the warm doublet, by the way, if you don't want it. You can always buy it later in Hatino Village, but you get it for free here. I don't remember what it sells for. Omanal, or Alnuma Shrine. Our first shrine of the game, and our first DLC chest. This is going to have a ruby in it, I think. Yep, a precious red gem mined from large ore deposits found throughout Hyrule. Rubies contain the power of fire and have fetched a high price since ancient times. That whole power of fire thing is greatly expanded upon in Tears of the Kingdom, of course. But yeah, Twilight Princess's combat was super fun at the time. I did not play Skyward Sword until it came out for the Switch. And I really enjoyed the Switch version. Skyward Sword HD, I thought that game was fun. My favorite Zelda game is probably either Zelda 1 or A Link to the Past, maybe. Or possibly this one. I can't say because I feel like it's a pretty even amount of liking for those 3 games. They're very similar if you think about them. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Omen All. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial, Magnesis. This game, Breath of the Wild, I think fulfilled the vision that Miyamoto had when he made the first Zelda, which was based on his childhood, which is much like mine. I'm just wandering around in the woods. Oh, you haven't played Tears yet, Gale Wolf. Okay. Well, let's try not to spoil Tears of the Kingdom for Gale Wolf, folks. It's fun. Yeah, Skyward Sword for the Switch, it's fun. It was fun. The reason I didn't get Skyward for the Wii is because it was hard to find. And when it became easy to find it, it no longer came with the Wii Motion Plus add-on thing. And I just found that very frustrating. So I just said, to heck with it. I'll skip it. But when it came out for the Switch, I actually ended up receiving it as a gift. I still wasn't sure I wanted to play it, but I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun with it. I may have to do that on the channel at some point. Magnesis. This is a fun one. Manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. Grab onto metallic objects using the magnetic energy that pours forth from the Magnesis rune. Objects held in the magnetic snare can be lifted up and moved freely. All right, chat. What is your favorite rune in Breath of the Wild? Do you have a favorite? Let me know. Bloop. And this is a good time to talk about the shrines, right? This is maybe one of the more controversial elements of this game. It replaced standard dungeon design with these mini puzzles. And this little dude here, don't worry about him, just push him in the water. Well, I said just push him in the water. Ooh, or kill him with the block. That works too. Either way, he ends up dead. So yeah, they replaced the big dungeons for the most part with these little bitty puzzles. Which is a choice. I enjoyed this approach. I do wish that the shrines had maybe looked different inside from time to time. The appearance in here is very blue and very melancholy. And that kind of wears on me after a while. A traveler's bow is a small bow used by travelers for protection. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. Before we complete this shrine, I do want to say a little bit more about dungeons in Zelda. So in this game, in the base game, you have 120 shrines, plus you have the 4 divine beasts. The 4 divine beasts are the quote-unquote dungeons, okay? None of them are very difficult to do. They're fun, but they're not super difficult. Some of the Zelda dungeons in previous games were quite devious. Y'all played Zelda games. You know some of the ones I'm thinking about. But that formula was changed. So there's a much higher number of puzzles, but they're not contained within dungeons. Now, in one of my favorite Zelda games of all time, A Link to the Past, which I did a complete walkthrough guide of for the channel. There's a playlist if you want to check that out. I even show you how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump, which was probably one of my first, technique videos that I did. But anyway, Link to the Past has the 3 beginner dungeons, and then you have the quote-unquote advanced dungeons, where there's 7 of them, I believe. So you have 10 main dungeons in the game. And they vary in difficulty. I liked that amount of dungeons. It felt like a very complete experience. When Ocarina of Time came along, it reduced the number of dungeons by a little bit, but it made sense. You still had 3 starter dungeons, but then, and as adult Link, you had Forest Temple, the Fire Temple, Water Temple, Spirit Temple, Shadow Temple, and Ganon's Tower. So that's 9 dungeons altogether. Still felt like a very complete experience. Twilight Princess reduced the number of dungeons. Skyward Sword reduced the number of dungeons. And then Breath of the Wild has reduced it still. However, the number of puzzles in Breath of the Wild has increased. Excuse me. Taking a page from... I'm so sorry, y'all. I've got some sinus drainage going on here. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm fine. So sorry. I should stream more often, apparently. Anyway, Majora's Mask took a totally different approach. Only 4 dungeons, but the fun of Majora's Mask was in the side quests, the world building, and the relationship building with characters. That's where this game excels as well, because the world we're in is one of the characters. And we meet a lot of colorful folks along the way. So there's many different ways to do a Zelda game. So I think this is pretty good one. Good way. Magnesis, yeah, it's one of my favorites too. Cryonis is one of those runes that you forget you have until you realize it. You've proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am Omen All, the creator of this trial. Doesn't look a thing like Alnuma. I am an humble monk, blessed with the sight of Goddess Hylia, and dedicated to helping those defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of Goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Water Temple PTSD. Please accept the Spirit Orb. Water Temple can be confusing, yeah, for sure. Funny thing, when I played through the... Oh, one more thing I want to say. Did you notice Link's expression when the orb went into him? It's unique this first time. Every other orb, there's a slightly different expression when it happens. The Spirit Orb is a symbol of courage given to those who've overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. First time I played through the Water Temple, believe it or not, I had absolutely no trouble. That would have been in 98, I guess. I got the game pretty much when it came out. Maybe not right when it came out, because back then video games were hard to get in places like Appalachia, where I live. But it was close to release. I didn't have any trouble with the Water Temple. Then I'm playing through the game again in college, trying to show some other people like how to get through the temples. And the Water Temple curse struck. Of course it did, because I was doing it in front of people. Oh, God. Excuse me for just one moment, folks. Nature's calling. Then a bathroom break. I'll be right back. You can sit here and ponder the wonders of the wilderness and maybe relive your own Water Temple PTSD while I'm gone. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Oh, synergistic. Came into Farron the back way over the mountains, ran into some of those wooden chests, tried to nudge them somewhere I could open them. Completely forgetting about Cryonis. Yeah, I always forget about Cryonis. Another rune that has a lot of unknown uses is the stasis. I'll tell you, I played just a little bit of this, checking the recording. I just reloaded my original save on this to make sure we got decent levels for the recording, etc. This was a few days ago, and I found a new use for stasis, and I can't wait to show it to you. But it's going to be a little while. It involves Koroks. It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How'd you know? Clairvoyance. Oh, or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what's right before one's own eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often become crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine, it's all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there. Sound design in this game is awesome. The little clinky clank of his lantern? Heck yes. What do you mean? It's been some time since I've seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it's said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across the land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider. Hey, that wasn't the deal. Oh, well, I suppose I changed my mind. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Okay, first time playing this game, when I saw this guy, I didn't detect any malice from him at all. I felt like, okay, he's just a guy. I wasn't sure that he was the king or anything like that, but when this line came up, immediately I thought of Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back, right? I've changed the deal, right? Or I've changed the bargain. I can't remember what the exact term is, but I've altered the deal. I think that's what he says to Lando. This is giving massive Darth Vader vibes right now. So I remember thinking, wait, maybe this is Ganon or something, right? Exactly. Synergistic. Thank you. Yes. He altered the deal. Pray he doesn't alter it any further. Exactly. Since I'm feeling generous, I'll also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Are you joking? Oh, I'm afraid not, but do not worry. I have another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. Yep. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Again, just like the Pip-Boy map. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. Yeah. The isolated plateau. The old man explained that there are a total of 4 shrines on the plateau. He said that he will give you the paraglider once you have acquired the spirit orb from all of the shrines. He told you to survey the plateau from the top of the tower to find the remaining shrines. He also pointed out that you can use your Sheikah slate if you need to travel quickly. All right, we'll do that, but let's bust some boxes and stuff first. Roasted bass, a bass that's been cooked over an open flame. It's flaky and savory smelling. Offers more hearts than the raw version. And an arrow. Whoop. Whoop. A fossilized resin with a caramelesque sheen to it. It's been valued as a component in decorations for crafting since ancient times. Isn't that a lovely word? Caramelesque. It's very musical. One of the best words used in the text, I think. Localizations have come a long way, have they not? Opal, a valuable ore that gives off a mesmerizing iridescence, similar to the inside of a seashell. It contains the power of water. And again, I wish they had followed up on that a little bit more in this game, but maybe they ran out of time or resources. The Hyrule herb. This healthy herb grows abundantly in the plains of Hyrule. Cook it before eating to increase the number of hearts it restores. Ah! Do I have a tree branch left? I don't. Ugh. Keese wing, the wing of a keese, or an ache if you're really old school. It's covered with very short, sharp fur. It's not much use by itself, but you can mix it with critters to make something useful. Okay. We need that. Let's pop these boxes first. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get the lizard. Fast travel was indeed essential for this game. Hightail lizard is found throughout Hyrule. It's a bit slow to react at times. Yeah, it sure is. But if given a chance to escape, it'll dart off quickly. Cook it with monster parts for a speed-boosting elixir. You know, what you can do to make this a little bit more time efficient is drop the box onto the other box. Like that. And we are very much rewarded. Holy smokes. Alrighty, so this thing we put over here to get the chestises. Let's maybe faster to do it this way, I think. There we go. Didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to control it like the thing in Tears of the Kingdom. I can't remember what the power is called, but you know, the one manipulate or something. It don't work that way. Fire arrow time. I promise I speak English. Fire arrow times 5. A bundle of 5 fire arrows. Why is that hard to say? 5 fire arrows. Fire arrows break apart on contact, impact even, igniting objects in the immediate area. Incredibly effective against cold things. And over here we have some ice arrows. I remember this. These break apart on impact as well, freezing objects, and they're very useful against hot things. One of the things about Tears of the Kingdom, I don't want to talk about it too much because Goldwolf hasn't played it yet, but it's not really a spoiler. There are no elemental arrows in that game, which I kind of hate. Goldwolf says, I loved how creative you can get later on with the rune abilities. I wonder how did the developers even realize how players would combine them with abilities. Yeah, I just don't know. Like wind bomb jumping, the whole wind bomb thing, which I'm really, really bad at. I hope you all don't expect me to do any wind bombing, because I'm just not good at it. Darn you. Bokoblin arm, skeletal arm that keeps moving even after it's severed from its body. It's kind of gross to strap it to your back, but it'll do in a pinch. It's old and fragile, so it's quick to break. All right, pick up the head. Let's save a little weapon durability. Pick up the head of these guys and throw it into some deep body of water. In case you don't know, that's a good way to get rid of them. And then the body will just collapse and leave you with the goodies. A tooth obtained from a bokoblin. It's worn down, not very sharp. Kind of like the critter it comes from. But it's still pretty hard. Cook it alongside a critter to make an elixir. I have to wonder if those interesting combinations between abilities and physics of the physics engine of the game are not what partially gave them the inspiration for all of the things you can make in Tears of the Kingdom. A spear haphazardly carved from a large tree branch. This is the Boko spear, of course. It looks like its original intent was for skewering meat and cooking it, but it does have some combat merit as well. Never seen the pun? Okay, I'm glad to be the one showing you. Glad you saw it here. One thing that's neat about Tears of the Kingdom is you can drop weapons from this screen right here. You can't do that here. So we do this instead. All right, let's go. Fast travel, I guess. The little dialogue there said the Hero's Path mode has been unlocked, which is part of the DLC for this game. And it's useful. Oh my goodness. Of all the things in the DLC, I think the Hero's Path mode might be the most useful thing. Look who it is. And the juxtaposition of orange and blue had not quite been overdone yet when this game came out. This is used in cinematography quite a lot, using orange and blue because they are complementary colors. They're opposite on the color wheel. They do look very nice together. And if I had to pick one color to be sort of the theme color for Breath of the Wild, it would definitely be blue. For Tears of the Kingdom, it would be... what? Let me know, chat. What is the theme color of Tears of the Kingdom? The old man says, well, you certainly took your time. Did you forget how to travel instantly? No, I remember. Now then, I wanted you to join me up here so you could use this as a vantage point to find the shrines. Did you know the scope has, you have a, well, let me start over. I'm not using the voice. I'm sorry. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? Look through it and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. Yep, useful feature. The pins on your map serve as reference points for your travel. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in. How do you know? Oh, just a few tricks I've picked up after many, many years in the wild. You may take my advice or leave it. Go ahead and take a look if you feel inclined to do so. Yep, absolutely synergistic. Tears of the Kingdom's theme color is overwhelmingly green. Green is my favorite color. That's one of the reasons that I do love that game so much. So there's a shrine. We're going to mark it. Motion controls work for this, which is cool. There's a shrine up here somewhere. I thought there was. Yeah, well, there's two. Yeah, the other two are over here. Boop. Boop. There we go. And if we check the map, there they are. Coincidentally, using the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow. Primary colors of pigment, anyway. We did it. No, I found them. Thank you. If you wish to acquire the paraglider, you must put in the effort. I won't simply give it away, you see. I know you won't. Okay, so the next shrine is down there. The question is... Yeah, I guess we'll risk this again. My first death was falling down this tower, in case you missed it. I'm gonna save. I've not saved, actually. We're relying on autosaves here. Ooh. Ooh. And of course, like Breath of the Wild's complement color is orange, Tears of the Kingdom's complement color is gold, which goes very well with green. Go Tribe. It's a College of William and Mary reference. Probably a little too deep. I don't guess any of y'all are also Virginians, are you? Might be. Now, the toughest enemy in normal mode that I'm aware of is a blue bokoblin that's inside that skull. And I remember the first time I played the game. Great use for spears right here. He got me many times. The Keese eyeball is rare. It's dropped when you defeat a Keese. It's fun to look at, but it doesn't seem to have much use at first glance. But it must be good for something. Again, it makes me think they had more in mind for that and just didn't have time to implement it. Ah. Poke. Poke. Don't have a body of water here, so we'll just do it this way. Yeah, the water trick is useful if you, you know, are saving on weapon durability. Early in the game, especially. Nothing there. Now, the blue guy's in here. Do I want to do it now? I guess I could. If I can narrow them, tell you what I'll do. I'm going to climb up here. Are you a Virginian? Okay, cool. Well, as am I. It's definitely nice to make your acquaintance then. One of my best friends on YouTube, who I never met until I started doing YouTube, actually lives not far from me in real life. Now, we're going to try something slightly dangerous, I think. I could try to shoot him from here. I'm probably not going to make it. We're going to take some damage here, I think. Because we don't have the paraglider. No, we did not. That's fine. Okay. We took out the sentry. The tactical part of the combat in this game is just so fun. Especially when we find our first Lionel. Ooh, I love fighting Lionels. Love it. Now, let's not wake him up. It is a small world. Much smaller than most folks realize, I think. Are you guys gonna... Please don't wake up the guys inside. Alright, I gotta hurry because they're gonna wake up anyway. Yeah, so the best way to deal with these fellas, if you're new to the game especially, is to hop up here and do this. Alright, that knocks them... Everybody, it kills everybody except the blue one. Knocks him down to half health. He still doesn't know I'm here. He's about to find out. Let's see here. Well. Now he's on fire. And that did it. So that's how you deal with that dude. I think first time I played this game, he killed me 2 or 3 times. And this is actually a pretty decent reward here. A spiked Boko club, a reinforced Bokoblin club, 12 damage, made to maximize damage. The sharpened bones jabbed into it make it a brutal weapon. Put it up so it doesn't burn. Get that club. Let's see what we got in here. I don't remember. Yeah, the bombs, that's a great way to do it. More fire arrows. Good. We don't have them yet, but we will very soon. Okay, are we full on bows yet? We are. But, let's see. Oops. Pick the same one up. There we go. We're in good shape now. Okay. On to the next shrine. And one of the coolest items in the game. No, I'm not talking about the rune. I'm talking about, of course, the Nintendo Switch t-shirt. Which is over here. I'm not going to try and find all the Koroks on the plateau, by the way, because I don't know where they're all at. I have never found all 900 Koroks. And I don't really want to do a guide, you know. I'd like to find them organically, but as much as I love this game, that's just a little much for me. I think this one's dead. Oh yeah. This one's dead. The ones that are at an angle are dead. Oh no, never mind. I take that back. Proven wrong instantly. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so you run away from that. That's a great danger. Will Robinson. So I stand corrected. All right, that one's awake. Welcome back, Gale Wolf. How's that tea? Bloop. Drop in behind here. Screw. The shafts are the rare ones, the rare parts. We want those as soon as we can get them. That one's awake. Bloop. And you see that chest right there? Let's go ahead and get it now. That's going to be your Nintendo Switch t-shirt. Expansion Pass bonus. A shirt with the Nintendo Switch logo on it. It's a rather rare find, so wear it with pride. We'll do that now. Snazzy, huh? Oh, yeah. So again, the shrine is here. It's right there. Okay. If you have the expansion pass, of course. Good. Glad it is. Glad it's good. Yeah, well. With all the hacking and coughing I've been doing, I probably need some. Got the old Jack Daniel here with me. That's helping. You don't want to imbibe so much of that my playing goes off the rails, but yeah. WTF is a Nintendo Switch, yeah. It's a little too meta for the folks of Hyrule, I think. Yep, Jabaj. We'll just skip this. They all say the same thing. We're here for the bombs. Heck yes. And I love the way they did the bombs in this game. a never-ending supply, because I remember back to my days as a youngin' playing the original Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Running out of bombs was a constant problem, especially later when you run into blue dark nuts, and that's definitely a strong way to defeat them. And especially also if you haven't learned the trick to always get bombs from a Dodongo. Remote bomb, we get round and square. I think that was smart of them as well. A bomb that can be detonated remotely. The force of the blast is used to damage monsters or destroy objects. There are both round and cube bombs, so use whichever fits the situation. And of course there's the explosion and the wind bubble that comes off the bomb, which makes wind bomb jumping a thing. Again, I'm not good at it, so probably not going to be. You probably won't see me doing it. Hate to say. Kublamo. Let's see, this is progress? I think so. So what's the other way? Ah, goodies. Traveler's Claymore, even a basic two-handed sword, often wielded by aspiring adventurers. Its immense weight can knock enemies' shields right out of their hands. And our inventory is full, but that's okay. We do want that, so I will gladly sacrifice the torch. I can't remember if we need the torch for anything. The rusty broadsword. Now, we get a lot of these clubs. Leave that. A club for a claymore, that's a pretty decent, I think, trade-off. Okay. Get our shield up. Alright. Blow it up. Alrighty. This thing. Ah, yes. We need to blow the blocks up first. And you can't jump up there. Yeah, the shrine walls are annoying. You can't climb on them. I know why you can't. Because it would allow massive sequence breaking, but it's kind of, I don't know, kind of weird in a way. Alright, that's got that cleared off. This ball, I think, is a red herring. I think it's just there to show you that, you know, round things can go flying. Oh, on these, or anything you put on these, in front of these, will go flying. I think that's the reason that's there. Later, of course, those will be used for things. More amber. More of that caramel-esque sheen. So we got a treasure. The way to know if you've got all the treasure in a shrine is you pull up the Sheikah Slate map, and you see there it says Jabaj Shrine, and it has a treasure chest after it. That means you got all the treasure. Omanal, same thing. So we've gotten all the treasures in this shrine. So we're good to go. Up we go. I love this. Another one done and dusted. Yeah, it is. It really is good game design, Gale Wolf. Really good. It's one of the things that Nintendo excels at. Most of their games do well. This screen here, the loading screen, I think is another example of something they maybe ran out of time with. It has a cool minimalist look, but compare this with Tears of the Kingdom's loading screen. I think maybe they just kind of ran out of time, and that was probably a placeholder, and they're like, nah, it's good enough, and just left it. All right, so the next shrine is up the hill there, but I do want to get a Korok seed before we do that. And I cannot remember exactly where it's at, but it's somewhere along the wall here. Maybe it's right here. I think maybe this is it. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I agree with you there, Gale Wolf, and I think one of the reasons maybe the hook shot is not in this game is for that very reason. Since you can climb on the walls and stuff anyway, they were probably like, we probably wouldn't use the hook shot much. So. Although I kind of miss it, and I remember. Again, I don't want to talk too much about Tears of Kingdom, but there's a point in that game where they kind of fooled me into thinking there was going to be a hook shot early on, because I kind of missed that. Or things like in Ocarina of Time, the Lens of Truth barely gets used. In A Link to the Past, the magic cape is not required at all, nor is the cane of Burna. It would have been neat to see some puzzle around those two things. And they have kind of the same ability, really. They essentially make you invincible, but in two different ways. Please don't, Ra. You don't drop the rock on the Korok? No, I try never to do that. Yes. I do my best to not. Here's another good point of game design. You see the bee's nest? This teaches you that you can shoot the bees to annoy the monsters. You don't, no dialogue box required. Nintendo did themselves a huge favor, because compare the hand-holding of this game versus the hand-holding of Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. And it's night and day. They learned a lesson. Alright, so they run off. And then, theoretically, this is so you can go in and get their weapons. But that's not going to work because I'm full. Hey, dude, I got some for you. I didn't. Oh, did you see that? Did y'all see that? I don't think I've ever done that before. The rock he throws, you can bat it away. I swung, and the rock went flying the other way. Cool. Well, since the Boko Club's about to bust. Okay, well, never mind. So, see, the game's been out forever. I've beaten it twice. And I still... Oh, we don't get the honey. Oh, well. Oh, no, here it is. Courser bee honey. Honey straight from the hive, chock full of nutrients. I love honey in real life. Do y'all? I've always wanted to be a beekeeper, but I've never seemed to have the time to get into it. Cooking this into a meal unlocks the potential of these nutrients and provides a stamina recovery effect. Neat. Now, I'm thinking... There's another Korok somewhere on the wall around here, I think. But again... I can't remember. And actually, you know, on these... There's a high point over there somewhere. Maybe one of those. I can't remember which one. One of these little peaks has a sword stuck into it. You know, right there. It's not this one. I think there's another Korok seed around here. I might be wrong. Home run, exactly, Gale Wolf. Talking about being mean to Koroks. The kind of things people did to them in the next game is kind of sad, really. They're such cute little dudes. I've got a plush version of Makar from Wind Waker that lives on my bed. I'm not really big into stuffed animals, you know. I'm well into my 40s, but that Korok, he lives over there. He's one of the pillows on the bed, essentially. Spicy pepper. This pepper's exploding with spice. Ooh, yeah. Cook it to increase your body temperature and help you withstand the cold. That was paraphrased, of course. Old man's diary. Let's read it. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly, I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This is not the old man's voice, by the way. This recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer need that itchy, warm doublet. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet. However, it seems unlikely that such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. Well, maybe, maybe not. Got another pepper out of the deal. Can't carry another axe. Okay. Stamella shroom, a green mushroom that grows near trees in the forest. It's chock full of natural energy. Cook it to release its stamina restoration properties. We can do that. Well, the missing ingredient is meat. It could be poultry, or it could be meat like from a boar or a deer or something, but we have some pigeons here, so let's take one. Raw bird drumstick. This meat's tougher and chewier than a standard steak. Tastes better when cooked. I'm sure it does. Good Lord. Let's run over here and do it. This is where the fish is going to come in. Spicy meat and seafood fry. So that's going to be some meat, some seafood, and some spice. Let's cook it. Spicy meat and seafood fry grants low-level cold resistance. A filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. Hey, you know what? Let's make something else. Let's put this and this and this. Make it something. Spicy simmered fruit. And if you just cook the pepper by itself, you get spicy even, sauteed peppers. Grants low-level cold resistance. The spiciness of these sauteed peppers has been broken by the heat for a sweeter taste. Yeah, I do like peppers. Okay, the old man, I see him over here chopping on a tree. Let's go talk at him. Fancy that, so we meet again. What are you doing? I thought this tree here might make for some good firewood. However, getting a tree to fall exactly where you want it is quite an art. The trick is to turn your hips so that they face where you want the tree to land. So, I see you found my axe. Why not help me out and give it a few swings? I'm working up quite a sweat here, but these bones could use a break. Yeah. The angering the chickens, I remember when I was pretty young. So this is the next, just by the way, in Tears of the Kingdom, I'm pretty sure the trees just fall wherever you're looking. But in this case, in this game, there's a little more nuance. So we want our hips to face across the little ravine here. And didn't work. Okay. Okay, never mind. Well, old man, you lied to me. Well, let's just do it this way. Okay, so maybe he's lying. Maybe he is lying. Korok leaf. A single swing of this giant, sturdy leaf can create a gust of wind strong enough to blow away light objects. These will sometimes fall off trees as they're chopped down. And you can test this out and use it on those bokoblins to blow them off the edge. We cut the thing. Let's go talk to him. Get the warm doublet. I almost forgot. But yeah, when Link to the Past, I remember as a child, I used to love to anger the chickens. What you doing? You gonna sit by the fire? Well, hurry up, because I need to give you something. And get this pot lid. It's the lid of a large soup pot. It smells vaguely of poultry broth. Yum. It can take quite a beating before breaking. Okay, so the flavor text here is a hint for how to get meat for the seafood fry. Poultry broth. See? Subtle prompts. Subtle prompts. All right. Once he comes back here and sits down, you talk to him. What is it? What you doing? This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot you can use to cook yourself a meal. I cooked something. Wait, is that... That looks just like my signature perfect dish, spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that's not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? Sure. Oh, of course. Hyrule Bass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now please allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet. A warm pullover typically worn by mountain folk. Its sturdy fabric and thick gloves are great at retaining body heat. With that, you'll be able to resist the bite of colder climes. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood recipe, so I can do without that warm doublet. Again, teaching you that you don't need the clothes if you have the food. This is our first green piece of clothing, by the way, and I do like the way it looks. I've always really liked this. Let's go. We're in much greater shape. Keeps us warm. Now, if you notice, for those of you who are not super familiar with the game, which I don't know if anybody watching is not, but just in case, notice on the mini-map, which, by the way, let's see. I need to change an option. Fix mini-map to north. That's what I always do. There we go. There, that's better. Much better. Okay. So you see on the mini-map, if you look just to the left, there's a temperature gauge. If the needle goes into the blue or into the red, that means we're going to get damage. All right. And the size of the wedges depends on the food you've eaten or the clothes you're wearing. So let's take off the warm doublet. You see now the size of the blue wedge is much higher. You can also see it on this screen. If you look at Link, look to the left, you see the green circle. The temperature gauge is below it. We pop on the warm doublet. You see we got 1 pip of cold resist out of 2 possible. And we get the cold wedge going down. Okay. We are full on weapons. We can't take the core off. Leave, don't fall. It's scaring me. Let's take out these guys. Here's the first, like, mega apple tree. There's 8 apples on these, I think. 8 or 9 apples. I can't remember. Hey, guys. Come on. No, cut that out. Come on. I want him to get away from the edge is what I want. Well, if you're going to open up for me like that, I'll just do it that way. Do I want that spear? I really like spears in this game, particularly later when we get horse. The horse works really well. The spear works good with the horses. Zoop. What do we have here? Fire arrows. Nice. How many of those do we have? 15. Not bad. One thing I like that this game did that Tears of the Kingdom did not do is if you see on the upper left, when I pull out my bow, it tells me how many arrows I have. In Tears of the Kingdom, you have to draw back the bow, and you see the number there next to the aiming reticule. That's the only way to know without going into the menus in Tears of the Kingdom, and I think that was a step back in interface design. This is pretty steep to go up this way. So let's not go up this way. We only have one stamina wheel. We could have cooked a stamina meal because we did get a stamella shroom, but we'll be okay. Normally I don't advocate cutting down apple trees, but wood, a portable bunch of wood. You can use this to make a campfire if you have something to light it. Yeah, this way is much easier. Much easier. We should be fine without a stamina meal. Just let it refill every time. One thing I like to do early is start collecting rush rooms and don't use them for anything. Because there's a side quest later where a guy wants 99 rush rooms. So pick up every one you come across and don't use them for anything. It's a mushroom that can grow almost anywhere but prefers ceilings and sheer cliffs. Cook it before eating to temporarily increase your movement speed. Which actually is a boost, a buff that I never really use much in the game. I probably should. See, we can hop up here and cheat a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, walk over. Grab the rush room. Of course, the reason these rush rooms are here is to serve as breadcrumbs to tell you, hey, go this way. That's what they're really here for. Again, subtle tutorial. I like it. And something that Zelda was not known for in at least the 2 games that preceded this one. Possibly more. Now this last stretch is a little bit of a doozy, so just take it easy and you'll be fine. Actually, we could go over this way. We'll be even finer. I think you probably can make it without this little pit stop, but we're not going to push it. Resist the urge to hop. Do not jump. One thing this game does well is incremental power-ups. There is a set of clothing that lets you climb faster. And as you upgrade it, you can reduce the stamina requirement for jumping while climbing. Once you have that power up and 3 full stamina rings, you feel pretty invincible. You feel like Spider-Man jumping around. Yes. Okay, so the way Gelwolf says, do some items like apples on trees and mushrooms respawn after time in the game. I can't remember for the life of me. Okay, so best I remember, the trees that you cut down will respawn every blood moon. I'm pretty sure that the trees will. But the apples and the other things you can pick up, like mushrooms and Hyrule herbs, that sort of thing, the plants, essentially, the food items, those just respawn after a certain amount of time goes by. It's not tied to a blood moon. Weapons that you pick up, like the pot lid, it was a shield, but the equipment that you pick up, I should say, like the pot lid and things like that that are just laying outside, those respawn every blood moon. Chests don't respawn with the exception of one chest. that is off of the coast of Eventide Island. It has, I think, 10 arrows in it, and you can abuse that to get infinite arrows. All you have to do to get that chest to respawn is save and reload. And here we get the stasis rune. Stop the flow of time for an object. This rune has some of the most surprising uses, I think. Stops an object in time while storing its kinetic energy. The stored energy will act upon the object when the flow of time resumes. Making a good use of the stored energy can move even the largest of objects, and is the gimmick within probably the most irritating shrine in the whole game. But we're definitely not going to get to that today. Definitely not. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Almost perfect. That's close enough. Stop it before it's time so it recharges a little bit faster. If you let it time out, it takes forever to recharge. Here on that. Go ahead and start walking up through here. Freeze it right there. Let it go. And then run on up through here. Oh, God. The gameplay. Okay, pretend that didn't happen. That was pretty good, huh? Oof. We didn't get it perfect that time. Oh, well. Here I was trying to be slick. I guess I got what I deserve, huh? Oh, no, it's not recharged. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, I'm not dead yet. Oh, God, yes. That's it. I love the eating animation. That never gets old. How funny. Let it go. And then wait on it again, I guess. Be patient, Link. God, what's your problem, man? Oh, yes. Made it. Yeah. You're welcome, Gale Wolf. You are welcome. That is how it works. As far as I know, that's how the respawning. There might be like a definite amount of time for like food items, apples, herbs, that kind of thing. Or it may just be like a rolling amount. Like once the game only keeps track of, say, 500 things you've picked up. And when you pick up the 501st apple or that type of object, maybe not apples, but like, say the apples, the herbs, all the plants and that kind of thing are all one like type of object. Once you've picked up, say, 250 or 500, once you pick up that next one, then the first one you picked up respawns. I don't know if that's how it works. It might be, or it could just be a random timer. It could be an RNG timer. I don't know, but it's not tied to blood moons. I know that much. Traveler's Shield. Did we read this? I think we did. It's made of animal hide and sturdy wood, best suited for defending against weak monsters or animals. Yeah. Okay. Now we do this. Iron sledgehammer. This iron sledgehammer was originally used for mining, but it works reasonably well as a weapon too. Hammer has been an item in Zelda games since Zelda 2. The Adventure of Link. The axe is about to crap out. I don't think we need this torch, actually. I'm pretty sure we don't. Getting the hammer was a huge deal in Zelda 2. Oh, get up to it. Anywhere out of here. And it comes back and crushes me. Wouldn't that have been funny? Comedy gold. We have gotten all the treasure, so we're good. For a minute there, Gale Wolf, when you said, and that's how it works, thanks for the reminder, I thought you were trolling me for my excellent gameplay there, getting squished by the ball. But you're not that cruel, are you? All right, so we got one more of these orbs to get. Let's do it. It's the most remote location. There might be a Korok or two along the way. This game being open world and so full of interesting little pockets and places, there is a couple places on this plateau that I find extremely interesting. One of them is this snowy area called Mount Hylia. I find this to be a neat little place, but by far the most fascinating part of this area is this River of the Dead zone, particularly along this side of the river. And it makes me wonder, like who's dead, you know? Which dead are we talking about here? This makes me think about the history of the place, what's going on. And it runs behind the Shrine of Resurrection. Maybe that's why this is called the River of the Dead. I don't know, but this is kind of a weird and kind of creepy place. The vibe down here is neat, and it's unusual. This is all ice-cold water, much like I would imagine the River Styx is. And these guys are here to make my life a pain in the ass. Oh, crap. How about a old sledgehammer, huh? Oh, darn you. Yeah, stand there and rejoice. There we go. Get the goodies. I don't want the arms. Let's get rid of this thing. And it's out of here. It just disappeared. What do we got? River Styx, yep. Very much like it. Let's get rid of these stinking Boko bows. Get a proper bow. This game is very much, in many ways, a callback to the original Zelda, a fulfillment of the original vision of it being this immense open world full of wild wonders that just wasn't possible in the 1980s. The Dueling Peaks over here is a callback to an illustration that was in the original manual for the Legend of Zelda for the Famicom/NES. And the way that Link carries his things, his weapons, shield, bow, the Sheikah Slate, the little pack on his back, down this little like fanny pack thing that he has, is a callback to another illustration that's in that book of Link carrying all of the treasures of that game together. You know, that way is probably just death. Let's go on. It would be neat if they would do a remake of the original Legend of Zelda, because that game is so influential, and a lot of folks just aren't going to play it in the modern era because it's, well, it's just hard, you know? It's not an easy game, particularly if you're a modern gamer. If you weren't around in that era, you're going to probably find it very, very frustrating. It's also pretty rough to look at, really, if you're not used to looking at 16-bit games. Now, one thing I don't like is how the climb down prompt disappears if you stop moving. Yeah, there's actually quite a few references and callbacks to that original game here. Now, we're going to do a little stealthing here because the bokoblins are asleep. Hopefully the choo-choos will not come along. I'm taking my shield and the bow off because they actually make a little bit of extra noise. We gotta hurry because they wake up early. And I like how their little necklaces, which were collectibles in Wind Waker, the game that introduced the bokoblin to the series, I like how they're like defying gravity. Look at that. One down. Crap. Without the Sheikah gear, it's kind of hard to manage a total takedown of the whole camp like that. But we tried. We did okay. The horn, okay. So this is the shrine we're going to is right up there. This is that River of the Dead area I was talking about, and there's even a gold boat. We're not going to do it because, at least not in this stream. See, there's a guardian down there. There's that water's cold. You don't want to fall in there, and that teaches you the mechanic of using a korok leaf in the raft and all that. We're going to finish the shrines today. That's what we're going to do. The ones on the plateau, anyway. And notice, if you listen carefully as Link runs, it's pretty quiet without the bow and arrow and the shield. But if we add the shield, makes a little bit more noise, you hear? And certainly if we add the bow and the arrows that rattle around in the quiver, it makes more noise even still. So if you want to have 100% optimal stealth, reduce your weapons to as few as possible. And these guys are awake. Let's just go up here. Now, they might try to blow us up. They might not. Oh yeah. Let's go for the other one first. Oh, darn you. Do a little flurry rushing on these guys. Oh no. All right, dude. Don't burn up my shield. Oh, I didn't get a flurry rush. There we go. Down he goes. All right, they're gone. Horn. Oh, give me the horn. Anyone explored the riverbed? Which the one? The riverbed here? Yep. On the plateau, you mean? Like the actual riverbed? The water's cold, you'll die if you jump in. There's at least... See, you could go up here and push these rocks, and that would take care of those bokoblins, I think. The ones that are... The ones we took... Well, no, probably them. Yeah, that's probably where those rocks end up. There's some koroks down there. I know that. And some treasures. It's worth going down there for sure. Now, there's another blue bokoblin over here. Which again... is a threat not to be taken lightly. So what you want to do is do this. Knock him down. And now he's no longer an issue. Got a decent shield off of him. That's good. Pot lid's not great. The River of Death, and yeah, wondering if anyone had glitched it or used software through emulation before Nintendo Window Berserk shutting all that down. I don't know. That's a good question. Good question. Chat, do you know if anybody's explored the riverbed down here in the River of the Dead? I swear, sometimes Nintendo is their own worst enemy. was concerned actually about streaming this game because there's a reason I don't do Nintendo content. And it's just because I don't like to put a lot of work into something and then have it, you know, taken down with copyright claims, or have the money from monetization go to Nintendo. I'm very, very concerned about that. I know, I mean, certain people are in their club, so to speak. And if you're not, then there's always a risk. A strange mushroom that grows softly in the forest at night. Cooking it into a dish unlocks the nutrients in its cap, resulting in a meal that will allow you to move more stealthily. Run on the rock and you won't be slowed down. This little mountain summit is a neat place. The shrine is behind us, but I want to go up here because this is such a neat location. This is called Mount Hylia. The old man's going to be up here, I think. Yep, he sure is. Oh, and something else. An opal. A beautiful view. Ah, I enjoy gazing out at the world from here. Breathtaking view. Oh, fantastic. Just one more until you can have my paraglider. I pressed the wrong button there. This may be the best place to get a full view of the entire plateau. Use your scope to look for shrines. When you locate one, place a pin to act as a marker. We have done that. But the view up here is pretty cool. I'll be a heathen and climb on this. We can see down into Farron. We can see straight through the dueling peaks here. It's cool. Mount Lineru up there. Zora's Domain is that way. Akala, the Akala Fortress is right there. Death Mountain. And look, there's another divine beast. Kind of spooky, huh? Hyrule Field. Hebra is over this way. There's Mount Hebra. There's, you can actually see quite a bit of detail there on Va Meadow. Look at that. Dorito Village is over that way. This is Mount Satori, I think it's called. Dorito Village is over this way. So anyway, and the Gerudo area is behind us. Anyhow, if we had the paraglider now, we could just glide down to the shrine, but we don't, so we won't. We do, however, have a Korok puzzle here, and this brings me to one of the two ways that I love to use stasis in unusual ways. The puzzle here is to complete the circle with a rock. The rock is not always obvious. Pop stasis, and the rock will glow yellow. Right there. This is also useful if you're in the woods and you're looking for mushrooms, especially truffles, which are hard to see. Pop stasis, they all glow yellow. Everything you can pick up in terms of like a plant or something like that will glow yellow when you use stasis. So that's an easy way to find stuff in the woods or anywhere. And a great way to find the Korok rocks. Stasis is useful in another type of Korok puzzle as well. Which we'll get to. When we get to it. I don't know when we'll find the first one. I don't think there's the... Oh, whoa! You fools! Falling rocks have been a Zelda thing for a long time, too. Okay. That's it. Alright, here's our last shrine for the plateau. Don't jump in that. We need the rune. It's not our final rune, but it's the last rune we'll get here. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm worried about the music. That's the main thing that worries me about the stream. Is it going to have a copyright claim on it? And the fairy fountain theme from A Link to the Past actually gets claimed all the time by one of the rights holders to the soundtrack for Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And not Nintendo, so that's irritating. And that fairy fountain theme is in this game too. I don't think Nintendo understands just how many sales are generated by YouTube videos like this. And here we have Cryonis. It builds a pillar of ice that are very stable. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use Cryonis on an ice pillar to break it. This is a neat one. You got to use your brain a little bit to make the most of this rune sometimes. I think the developers who came up with this, man, whoever's idea Cryonis was, is a pretty sharp cookie. Because it shows multi-dimensional thinking. Alright, so here we got a shield. You can just walk around the thing. And it gives us a platform for bullet time. It's not going to work because we're too close to the friggin' monster. But it does, trust me. Yeah, freaking thing. There we go. There's simple ways to use Cryonis. Come on. Got a spear. Oh, I forgot to read it. Just as well. What do we want to drop? This sword. It's going to break soon. A spear used mainly by travelers to fend off wolves and other beasts. It's easy to hold and simple to use. And I love the spears in this game. Probably my favorite weapon type. And that was our treasure. So we're good there. Yep. Never would have thought of Link being a very good spear user, but man, he's good at it. And the fourth shrine done and dusted. Oracle Seasons. Yeah, that's a good one. Both of those, the Oracle games, Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and because those are two games that are two parts of a whole, and Nintendo loves money so much, I don't know why they haven't remade those games. You know, do it like they did the Link's Awakening remake, you know, in the same style, which is the same as the Echoes of Wisdom, or whatever the newest game is called. I can't remember. The one with Princess Zelda. I've not purchased that one. With this, you have now acquired all the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh ho! Extraordinary! That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything, but first, meet me. Imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where they intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where the two lines connect, the shrines would cross. There I will be waiting. And we find out that the man is actually a Poe. So, of course, we draw a line from here to here, and then from here to here. And what's in the middle? The temple. So, let's get this chest. Boomerangs. I'm gonna be giving the boomerangs more than a fair shake in this playthrough. I've never really bothered to practice with them much, but I can. Oh no, I fell in. I can definitely appreciate them. I've seen other folks use them very proficiently. So yeah, synergistic. Glad you brought that up. I will endeavor to get good at boomerangs in this playthrough. All right, we're just going to go ahead and go here. How about that? There's three variety of Lizzle boomerang. There's the Korok boomerang and the giant boomerang. And the giant boomerang you can do some fun glitches with. Is the Korok here yet? I can't remember what spawns the Korok here. It might be leaving the plateau. It must be. There is a Korok here, though, I promise. Later. Let's cut these. There's nothing in them? Are you kidding me? Oh, well. Oh, my goodness. These... The one ring of stamina is killing me. How do you all usually go about leveling your character in terms of hearts and stamina? What, do you do hearts first, stamina first, a mix of both? How do you, and how do you prioritize? I'd like to know. I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I would like to know what you usually do with your characters. Nothing there. Ooh, lizard. Oh, remember what I said? Let's approach this logically. This won't be easy to get without the paraglider, but we can do it. Yeah, Gelwolf does stamina first. Yeah, that's a good one. So let's drop this here. It should be fine. Are you kidding me? Oh, there's a little bit of a shore here. I didn't realize that. I thought it was right up at the water. So never mind. This is not going to be hard to get. See, if we had the ascend, we could just ascend right here, but we don't. So we won't. Alright, so we just picked up some more goodies. Oh, come on. Screw. What I really want are shafts. Those are a little more uncommon and a little more useful. A gear used in ancient machinery, despite it being incredibly old. Its build quality is leaps and bounds beyond anything built using current technology. So I think maybe the way I'll do this, the first one I'm going to take is a heart. Or, no. I take that back. The first one I'm going to take is stamina, because there's a couple of these little towers you run into out in the field. Well, I forgot about you. Come on, big boy. Okay, like I said. Come on. There we go. There are a couple of towers you come across out in the field that you can climb up to the top of, and there are... Did we loot these? No, we did not. The spring. It's light and buoyant enough to float in water, and no matter how many times it's compressed, it never loses tension. Come on, give me a shaft. No, okay, man. But yeah, I want to get those treasures, and you need that little bit of extra stamina to get up there. Be a heathen and break the pots in the sacred place. Why not? Got 5 arrows out of the deal. Not bad. Got a traveler's bow. That's good. I'll take that. Okay, so here we go. Again, see if there's anything here that you can pick up or interact with. It would show up with the stasis room. Before we do that, let's loot these dudes. No shaft. I don't have any shafts. No shafts. Well, it's okay. But yeah, let's get stamina here. No rocks hiding. Nothing back here. Okay, so it does say Temple of Time. I couldn't remember if it's ever called that for sure in the game, but it is. So as Synergistic says, that extra stamina bar really helps. Offer you great power. You've claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange, I will amplify your being. So what do you desire? We're going to take stamina here. After this, I'm going to alternate hearts and stamina up to about 8 hearts or so, because we'll be quickly running into monsters that could one-shot us if I don't. Once we get about 8 hearts, I'm going to go stamina up to almost 3 full wheels. We'll say 1 segment shy of 3 wheels, and then go hearts all the way until we have 13, which is what you need to get the Master's Sword. Once we get that, we'll finish that stamina bar, that final stamina, then go nothing but hearts. You wish to expand your stamina wheel. Sorry, yes, I do. Please, I shall grant you the power you seek. Here it comes. Welcome sight. This little bit of stamina makes a big difference. This first increase to stamina, percentage-wise, is the biggest increase you get in the whole game. The stamina vessel, the size of your stamina wheel has been increased, allowing you to perform more actions before getting tired. Go and bring peace to Hyrule. Ho! Ho, he says. The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here quickly. Another reason to take stamina, right? Yeah, there are some easy ways to get up. The best way is to use this ladder right here. That's a convenient. Neat thing about ladders, hop up, stop, and your stamina actually regens on a ladder. Yeah, I find it aggravating to not be able to get those treasures because they're only really good for the early game. You know, there's not a Korok here, is there? No. Oh, shit. Pardon my language. Oh, look, I don't know if I even knew this was here. Look at this. Triforce, and it's got the emblems of the Deku, the Zora, and the Gorons there. That's neat. Alright. Sorry, I try to keep the language clean. There is a Korok up there, I think. On the tippy top. We'll get that in a minute.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists.
The Hyrule
The
Castle
great
theme
calamity
there.
was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining.
It's still chilling.
He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
Because we need all 3 pieces, right? 2 alone won't do it.
That princess was my own daughter.
You see the 3 triangles on his shirt?
and the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here is the power glider, just as I promised. Paraglider, an item that you received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. Most used item in the game, probably. So, with that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. We will do our absolute best, sir. And that brings another bit of information into our minds here about how this game is similar to Fallout games, which I play and love here on the channel. Also, we are in a post-apocalyptic world, and we have emerged out into the light from under a mountain, a cave of some kind, emerged out into the blinding brightness of the wasteland or the post-apocalyptic world before us. And like in Fallout games, we are going to meet people who are doing their best to make their way in this world and remake it in any way that they can so that they can have lives for themselves and their families, their children, and their friends, and everyone they know. So this is going to be a tale of destiny, a tale of daring do, and it's one of the best, one of the best. We heard many names in that little cutscene. We heard about Impa, and of course Princess Zelda, the King of Hyrule, and Ganon, and of course our hero Link here. And I've always liked the idea of the Legend of Zelda being legends like the ones that we tell in our real world here, where the details are not always the same with each retelling, but the characters and the beats are always the same, right? And I like to think of Zelda games in that way. I'm not one of the Zelda players who really thinks much of the timeline. If you do, that's fine. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it was unnecessary, in my opinion. I'm more of a vague legend kind of person. But those of you who know me know that I studied antiquity and the classics at university, so I'm very well versed in ancient legends and the way oral storytelling tradition was done, not just in the classical ancient world of Greece and Rome, but also here in Appalachia as well, where storytelling is such a big part of our world, and there's so many legends interwoven in the fabric of our lives here in the mountains. And of course, like Miyamoto, I grew up wandering around in the woods by myself quite a bit, and that causes the imagination to spiral. But for now, I think it's a good place to call it a stream. Synergistic says, "Does this make Princess Zelda the Gek?" Hey, I hadn't thought about that, but maybe it does. That's actually not a bad way to think about it, really. Yeah, Garden of Eden creation kit. We are going to, I guess, actually the combination of Link, Zelda, and Ganon all together kind of makes a Gek, if you think about it, because it takes all three of them to fix things, and to make things safe and corruption free. Ganon, of course, gets the short end of the stick because he has to, get sealed away for umpteen years after that. But that's pretty good, Synergistic. Thank you for that. Thank you for hanging out with us as well. Thanks to Gail Wolf. Thanks to, let's see, who else have we had today? We have had Tax Evader. Yes, if you're still here, thank you for hanging out with us. And Garrison Goldberg. And DeBoy Blake, thank you so much, very much for that, for hanging out with me and for chatting with us in the stream. I'll be streaming this game again probably later this week or maybe Saturday, so keep an eye out on the channel. I will pre-schedule the stream ahead of time. So let's plan for maybe Saturday at, say, 10 or 11 a.m. If you want to join our Discord server, there's a link to do that in the description. I'm pretty sure I remembered to put it there. I hope I did. I announced it on there too. So hopefully you'll be able to see me as well. And right now I'm playing Fallout New Vegas Blind and Hardcore on the channel. There'll be a couple episodes of that coming out later today. Thank you, Gail Wolf. Appreciate you always, each and every one of you. Be sure to like the video before you go. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. We do have memberships available. If you'd like to join the channel as a member, you can do that too. However you choose to support my endeavors here, I appreciate it very, very much. And by showing up today, each one of you guys in the chat or gals in the chat have helped me out tremendously. It's always great to not be sitting here talking to myself. For now, I will bid you adieu. Remember, wherever you are, whenever you are, I'll see you next time.